Okay, in this video I'm just going to go over quickly how to recognize chert or flint that's sitting on the surface of the ground. Now, I found some recently at a apartment complex where my niece lives. She just moved in. It's a brand new complex too, and they had cut to construct a parking lot. They had cut into the bedrock, and it's actually a chalk formation, a very loose limestone looking formation, and these nodules came out of that. Some of them directly from the wall of the cut, but most of these were found just on the ground around where they cut into the bedrock. Alright, so there are some videos already out there that show how to collect flint and chert, but that's one of the most common questions that I get, is how do I recognize this stuff? So I'm going to do a short video on it as well. It might be redundant, you might have already seen all this stuff, but I'm just going to zoom in. I'll try to give you an idea of how it looks like in the raw state. And I also usually bring with me a hammer like this. Now this has been cut off here in case you're looking for this particular style and size. You're not going to find it. This is just a regular ball peen hammer, and I cut the end off to make it smaller for my needs. Anyway, I didn't have this, but I had a sledgehammer that I was using, a small sledgehammer in the car, and I did take a couple of sample chips just to make sure on some of these, which is, you know, a good practice to do whenever you go collecting or whenever you think you might find something. But some of these are pretty obvious that it is flint or chert. You know, and if you hold it up to the light, you can see some translucency on the edges. Okay, that's pretty obvious. And there was some of this laying on the ground, just like that. Now these, you can sometimes find these in landscapes for restaurants along with the other stones. You'll find chips and flakes naturally occurring of chert or flint. Okay, so these are pretty straightforward. Anyone can recognize these, I would imagine. Now this particular piece here, let me see if I can separate these. This piece came out of the wall of the parking lot cut. So did this one here. I think this was actually showing here, this part. I believe this one was also sticking out. Now you can see this on the interior is the honey colored chert, but on the outside it has a patina. And often that patina is quite thick, and it's hard to tell if this is just a piece of limestone or if it is chert or flint until you take a piece off and chip it. I'm holding the camera at the same time, so but you can see. Zoom in again. By testing it, you can see that it is flint or chert, and it's a different color on the inside, with the outside having a very light color patina, or a reaction to the elements, you know. I'm not sure exactly what causes that, but when you test, it'll give you an idea of what's underneath. Anyway, all of this was found within, let's say, 150 feet of the same spot, and there are variations to it. It's not all this stuff here I just showed you. Some of the chert is light colored, and as far as I can tell, that color goes all the way through some of these. Well, here it's not. This is the honey color on the inside. But I took a couple chips off of some of the other pieces. As you can see, it's not all honey colored, but it's still good to nap. This stuff, if I can't nap it outright, I'll just heat treat it. And that's another question I get, is how do you heat treat this stuff? And I just heat treat it in a turkey roaster, and I have videos on it, a couple of videos on heat treating. I may make another one because I am going to heat a new batch here this week. Anyway, well, when I was on vacation, I always keep an eye out, and I happened to find these all in one spot, so I was pretty lucky. Anyway, just within 150 feet or so of the other chert was this type. And then a little bit further on in another spot, I found nodules like this on the ground, where it's, as far as I can tell, some of these only have a thin skin of chert. Like this one here. The bottom is pretty rough. Let's see if I can take some pieces off of this one. I don't want to spread too many chips around in the yard, but anyway, it grades from being very nice near the surface here to being very poor at the bottom. Okay, and the only thing is I'm worried about is the cracking, the freeze cracking, and damage from the elements on this surface. So I might be able to skin these off, skin these areas off the top by striking here and taking some of this. But I don't think this material is going to be very good quality. But I took it anyway just in case. And on this one it's more noticeable. You can see the skin at the top of this particular nodule, and this is really good stuff up here. And obviously you can't really tell by looking at the surface. You'll have to check. So I did chip some of this when I was there and found out that it had some good quality material. Now, like I said, it's cracked, so I might not be able to use it all. And then I found this big old chunk. Let's see. This big chunk here of what I believe to be chert. And I haven't tried chipping this yet. I just grabbed it really quick. It appears to be quite tough, like a rhyolite. Okay, so see. Sorry, I had to keep zooming in and out here. Alright, so this piece was found close by also, and you can see quite a difference. It's very grainy. I don't even think this will respond to heat treating, but I'll try it anyway. It does create a sharp edge, so it can be used for some tools, but for arrowheads I'm not sure. Some of the areas might be usable or more flint-like, but you cannot really tell by the color on the surface that is exposed to the weather. You've got to get down into the material with a hammer or something. Okay, so anyway, here's some more pieces. I'll zoom out again. Those pieces are lighter in color. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Okay, I'll continue this probably with heat treating and then maybe some points later on. Alright, that's it.